kitchen, folks. Just a brief introduction to my next film. So I work really hard, and that means I get to play really hard. And I have just been playing really hard because I've had the best holiday ever for the past 3 weeks in Australia. Now I'm back in the UK and I'm reflecting on the amount of beer that I've drank over the last 3 weeks and some excellent Australian craft beer. Look out for the films coming out soon. I've drank beautiful wines and I've eaten some amazing food, okay? All of that has taken its toll. In 11 days' time, I'm going on a cruise for a week, and that's all inclusive. I'd like to get some of this off before I go away again, because otherwise I'm going to come back as big as a barrel. So I've set myself a 10-day challenge, okay? This is a 10-day health challenge, a 10-day holiday detox challenge. These are the rules. It's pretty straightforward. It's in units of 10, okay? So over the next 10 days, I've got to walk 100,000 steps, which is an average of 10,000 steps a day. I've got to strictly follow the Slimming World plan, and I can have no more than 10 syns per day. And I'm not allowed to bank my syns like when I did the 21 days Slimming World challenge. So if I don't use my syns on a certain day, then I've still only got 10 syns for the next day, 10 syns for the next day. If you're unsure what Slimming World is and what syns are, I'll explain that to you throughout the film. So over the next 10 days, I cannot drink any alcohol. I can drink soft drinks that are sugar-free. I'm going to encourage myself to drink more water than anything else, and I can drink tea and coffee with a splash of milk in, again within the remit of the Slimming World plan. I'm not going to consume any caffeine, so the tea and the coffee that I drink is going to be decaffeinated. Hopefully that means I'm going to sleep restfully. I'm going to try and avoid ultra-processed food altogether. I don't think I'll be having any, and I'm going to keep the processed foods down to a minimum, but understand something like baked beans is processed, but on Slimming World it's seen as a healthy thing because it's sin-free. So essentially, what goes into my body has got to be really good, clean, healthy stuff. And at the same time as doing that, I've got to burn some calories by doing walking. I've got 10 days. I would like to lose 10 pounds in 10 days. I don't know if that's possible at all. There are 2.2 pounds in a kilo, so that's somewhere around about 5 kilo. So yeah, this is going to be a challenge. Is it going to work? Well, tomorrow is day 1. I'm going to weigh myself in the morning. I'm not going to tell you what I weigh, but I will tell you what the difference is at the end of the challenge. Whether I've lost weight and how many pounds I've lost, whether I've gained weight and how many pounds I've gained, or whether there's no change at all. I'm confident that there'll be a loss. I don't know whether I will make 10 pounds, but I am going to be really strict and I am going to be focused on it. It's 10 days of my life. It's not going to break the bank. So I hope you enjoy the film, folks. Hopefully we can all learn something together. And here's to a flatter tummy for that cruise. Oh. I'll catch you tomorrow for day 1. Morning from the kitchen, folks. It is day 1 of my 10-day holiday detox challenge. I've just been upstairs and weighed myself. It wasn't great news. On my lovely 3-week holiday, I have gained 6 pounds, which I am not proud of. It was great though. It was a really good holiday. But I need to shift that, and if I can shift a bit more than that on top of it, great. So that's my target. Minimum is 6 pounds, but I'm hoping to go beyond that. Like I said yesterday, maybe even as far as 10. Anyway, I'm starting with my first drink of the challenge, which is going to be a pint of sparkling water. Cheers, folks. I'll be back with you for breakfast. Right, day 1 breakfast is ready, and it's a nice sin-free baked beans and poached egg on a slice of homemade toast. So, sin-free, and that is sin-free as a healthy extra, so there's no sins accrued there. See you in a bit. Hey folks, I'm back with lunch, and it's a sin-free lunch. Let me talk you through what I've got. So, I've got a nice big baked potato underneath that. I've got 3 chicken thighs. And this has all been cooked without any oils or fats. There's no butter on the baked potato. And then on top, I've got a ratatouille that I've made. To make the baked potato, I boiled the potato whole for 30 minutes and then I put it in the air fryer to crisp it. It works a treat. The chicken thighs, I can't eat the skin. If I eat the skin, I've got to sin it. So I'm going to take the skin off and give that to the fox because it does like it. And the ratatouille is simply a tin of chopped tomatoes, an onion, a red chilli, a red capsicum pepper, chopped carrot, chopped mushroom, all just basically simmered together in the pan. It's healthy, it's a filling meal, and I'm not going to feel hungry. And this is the thing, when you're doing a challenge like this, if you feel hungry, it makes you miserable. So you've got to keep yourself feeling full and satisfied. And there's loads of flavour in this, and it's really good for me. I'll come back to you later on because I'm going to need to get some steps in today, aren't I? Right, I've done some housework and some gardening, and that has involved quite a few steps, so I haven't got to do such a big walk today after all. Let's have a look what I'm on so far. So I'm on 5,927 steps, so essentially I've got to do 4,000 steps around the estate where I live, which is going to be pretty easy stuff. So I'll film a couple of shots, but I won't bore you too much with it. Well, that was quite nice. 10,000 steps achieved. And I even went a slightly different way too. I think it's time for dinner. Right, I've got tonight's dinner started. So I've put some rice on and I'm going to combine it with this and some herbs and spices and make a biryani. So I did say that I was going to explain what Slimming World was, and I was also going to explain what syns were and what healthy extras are, etc. So Slimming World is actually like a club. It's a group that you can join and you pay so much per week. I can't even remember what it is these days, to attend a weekly meeting where you have like a support session. You all sit around in a circle, you get weighed and all that jazz, but you've got to follow a particular eating plan. Now, I'm just doing the eating plan. I'm not paying to go to Slimming World because I've got an old Slimming World book which I bought at a charity shop, and I also use ChatGPT because that helps an awful lot. The crux of Slimming World is what's called free foods, okay? Now, free foods are things that you can eat as much as you want of, and that's what I've been doing today. Everything that I've had today has been a free food, apart from the slice of bread which I had at breakfast. That's a healthy extra. So free foods are things like fruit, vegetables, lean meats, rice, pasta, pulses, essentially anything that you've cooked in a healthy way. So if I've boiled the rice and I've not put any oil in there, then it's a free food. If I wanted to fry it, then it's not. I've got to sin it because of the oil that's in there. So I am just avoiding sinning stuff as much as I can. So syns, what's a sin? So syns essentially are things which are not free foods and they're not healthy extras, and they're things which aren't as good for you. So if I had a piece of chocolate, for example, then that would carry a sin value, and I'd have to look up either in the book or online what the sin value would be. And you're allowed to have so many syns per day. So I've set myself 10 syns per day, but I'm not going to have any syns today. And I might not have any syns on several days. If I'm really low one day, then I might have a sin, but I'm not intending really to have that many. It's only a 10-day challenge that I'm doing. The healthy extras are essentially things which you can't eat in unlimited quantities, but you're allowed a little bit. So I could have, for example, 2 slices of bread per day. I could have a small piece of cheese, and I can have milk in my tea and coffee. And that's essentially what I have been doing, but I've not had any cheese. I've just had the bread and I've had some milk in my tea and coffee, but I'm not going overboard with it. I've explained that in a very basic and rough way, and I think if you really are interested in what Slimming World is and how it works, then basically go online and have a look for yourself. But I'm following the eating plan as best I can, and I'm trying to stick to essentially what are free foods as much as I can. And here is my day one dinner. That is my vegetable biryani, and I've got some left for tomorrow as well. But this is sin-free, so I've had a sin-free first day, and I'm on 11,500 steps so far also. So that's good too. Catch you tomorrow. Morning folks, it's day 2 and I've got a right good breakfast. Let me show you this one. I've got bacon, egg and beans on toast. The bacon has been cooked without any oil. I've just put a bit of water in the bottom of the pan. I've put the beans in with the bacon then, and then I've put the egg on top and coddled it on a slice of toast. No syns, because I've cut the fat off the bacon, so I am within the sin-free remit of Slimming World. And I'm right happy about that. Catch you later. Hey folks, I'm back. It is now the evening of day 2. I've not had any lunch today because the breakfast was that filling. It's just kept me going all day long. But for dinner I've made a bacon and vegetable risotto. So there is the rest of the bacon from this morning in there with some carrots, peas, capsicum, pepper, sweet potato, onion, and probably something else that I can't remember. Mushrooms, that's it, yeah. Anyway, I've been out for a little wander this afternoon, same as yesterday, so I didn't bother filming it, but I've got my steps in, so all good. I'll catch you tomorrow on day 3. Morning folks, I'm having a sinful breakfast today. I felt like it was time. So I am going to be having 100 grams of smoked mackerel fillet, and that is therefore 10 syns. And that is my entire sin allocation for today, so I need to make sure that for the rest of today there's no syns at all. Easy enough, I've not had any so far. So with the mackerel, I've got a poached egg, tomato and mushroom. All of this is poached, no oils used whatsoever, and a slice of toast. And just to point out, the quantities that you can see are for 2 people. So there we go, my sinful mackerel breakfast. It looks nice though, and I'm looking forward to having it. Right, day 3, super filling lunch, and I need it because I've been hungry all morning, even though it was a good breakfast. I don't know why, but I have been really hungry. So I want to curb that because I don't want to be feeling miserable. So I've got pretty much what I had the other day. Baked potato with no butter on it at all. I've made a ratatouille, and then I've got 3 chicken thighs underneath, and I've removed the skin from the thighs. It literally is a sin-free winner chicken dinner. Oh no, it's lunch. Oh well, it nearly worked. It's day 3. I'm getting my day 3 steps in now. I've got to walk to the doctor's. So that's about 5,000 steps each way. I'll show you some views along the way. It's interesting because today I've noticed I've not drank any more than usual, but I've needed to wee a lot. And I think that's part of the stage of when weight loss begins. Is it called ketosis or something like that, or ketones? I need to Google search all this stuff. But I've also felt physically lighter on my feet, even though I'm out of breath, but I am walking uphill. Anyway, need to carry on. The doctor's done. I'm going to walk home now. It's exactly the same as the walk there, pretty much, but in reverse, so I'll catch you later. Right, I'm back in the kitchen. I've done all my steps, everything's gone well, and here's my dinner, which is another winner, and it's sin-free. So it is tagliatelle bolognese. So tagliatelle dried pasta, which is sin-free. I've got 5% fat or less than 5% fat minced beef, spinach, shallots, onions, garlic and passata. It's going to be well tasty and there's no sins in it. See you tomorrow. Morning folks, it's day 4 and here's my messy, yet it will be very tasty breakfast. So I've got a slice of toast, no sins, that's my healthy extra. I've got half a tin of baked beans, I've got 2 chopped up mushrooms, and I've got 3 chopped up Richmond meat-free sausages amongst that. So that's basically beans, mushroom and sausage on toast with a coddled egg on top. So it's not sin-free because the Richmond meat-free sausages have got 1.5 sins each. So I've got 4.5 sins in that, but it's going to keep me going. That's going to be a good breakfast. No idea what's for lunch. We'll find out later. Hey folks, I'm back for lunch and here is what I've got. I have warmed up the risotto I had the other day. I have shallow poached an egg, so that's not a fried egg, it's a poached egg. That is water in the pan, but it looks like a fried egg. And there are no sins in that at all. I've got to get my steps in later. I'll come back to you then. Right, I need to get my day 4 steps in. I've got 3,000 already, another 7,000 to do. If I don't manage it, then I don't manage it because it is an average of 10,000 steps a day. But I am going to try and hit the 10,000. As long as I've done 100,000 steps by the end of the 10 days, then I'm okay. I'll film some of the bits and bobs along the way, but you've seen some of it before, so I won't repeat myself. Okay, see you in a bit. About MP, excellent. Hey folks, I'm back from my walk and I've got dinner on. I wasn't really feeling the walk today. I wasn't in the mood for it, you know, I didn't have the motivation. But I've done it and I'm glad I did. I'm just under 10,000 steps, but by the time I go to bed, I'll definitely be on 10,000 steps. I went down a few streets today, which were interesting because I don't usually go down them. And I've actually found 2 plum trees and 3 crabapple trees. And that's made me think, opportunities there for some more brews. For those of you that don't know, I also do home brewing on this channel, so if you've just found this film because you're doing a health kick, for example, then yeah, the channel has got a big reputation for home brewing, I think a bit more than health stuff. But anything to do with home and garden, I'm willing to give it a go. Anyway, for tonight's dinner, I've taken last night's spaghetti bolognese, or bolognese I should say, because there was no spaghetti, just the bolognese. I've added some chilies, shallots and kidney beans. And I'm turning that into a chilli, and I've got some potatoes over there, some potatoes which I'm going to boil, and then I'm going to finish them in the air fryer. But I'll do so without oil, but it'll still make them a little bit drier and crispy on the outside, and I'm going to put the chilli on top of them anyway. So it will be a sin-free dinner, and I'll come back to you when it's ready. So there's my roast potatoes, which I've got no oil on. They've just been boiled and air fried, and I think they've turned out pretty nice actually. And there is day 4 dinner. I don't think that looks too bad, does it? Sin free. Catch you tomorrow, day 5. Morning folks, it's day 5, here's breakfast. And it's another good one. So a slice of homemade toast, so bread that I've baked myself. 1 slice of that with a poached egg on top. Unfortunately I've made a hard yolk today, never mind. Tin tomatoes with some mixed herbs in, 1 rasher of bacon with the fat removed, 1 rasher of bacon wrapped around one of those Richmond meat-free sausages, so in effect a piggin blanket. That's 1.5 sins for the sausage, everything else is sin-free, and that's going to be a good filling breakfast. Ka-ching. So we're just having a walk round Leeds Bradford Airport to get my day 5 steps in. I'll show you some views along the way. Well, that was a lovely walk, and even bumped into an old friend along the way. I should have filmed that actually, never mind. So my steps aren't completed for today, but I'm not far off. But it's time for lunch and we're going to Wetherspoons. How is that possible? Right, can't have that. And now it's sin-free. And my day 5 dinner is a homemade chicken curry with rice. It's all sin-free ingredients, herbs, spices, vegetables, chicken and rice. All good. See you tomorrow for day 6. Afternoon folks, it's day 6. I've skipped breakfast, I've got up late, I've had a late one, I've been really busy, so I've gone straight to lunch, and here it is. It's a user-upper. So I've used up the chilli that was left with the curry, I've mixed it together, mixed it with some of the boiled potatoes that I had left from the other day. So I've got a nice spicy bowl there, and half a slice of toast, no butter on it there. Good news is, it's sin-free. So it's a sin-free lunch stroke brunch, whatever it may be. I'll catch you later. Oh, well, it's challenge day 6 and I was going to get my steps in today, but do you know what? I'm actually really tired. I feel quite low on energy today. I know I'd missed my breakfast and I've had a good lunch. I can't say I haven't had a good lunch, but I feel tired. So I'm not going to do my 10,000 steps today. It is an average of 10,000 a day, don't forget. So whatever I end up doing in the house today on jobs that I'm doing, then great. I'm going to do a big walk tomorrow, which will make up for the deficit from today. So the average will still be good. But yeah, I'm just not feeling it today. So I'm not going to push myself. I'll catch you at dinner time anyway. So yeah, it's mid-afternoon and I am feeling really low energy-wise. So I'm going to have a snack and it's got 3 syns in it. Here it is. The syns are in the shape of those 2 meat-free sausages. I've got a chicken breast which I've taken the skin off. I've got 2 plums from my own plum tree and 4 cherry tomatoes, not from my garden. But yeah, that's just a little snack. I've got some sugar, I've got some protein, and I've probably got some carbs as well in those sausages. Just a little pick-me-up. Catch you later. And I'm back with my super healthy day 6 dinner. It's an unusual one. Let's have a look. So I've got sweet potatoes, which have been cooked in the oven with a bit of water around them, well, underneath them, and some herbs. So there's no oil there, so that's fine. I've made a ratatouille with no oil or fat in it. It's tomato, leeks, shallots, onions, capsicum, pepper, mushrooms, and other bits and bobs. All good and healthy. And a steak, but what is that steak? It is a super healthy ostrich steak. So I'm having ostrich, sweet potatoes and ratatouille for day 6 dinner. I'll see you tomorrow for day 7. I'm doing a big walk tomorrow, so I'll get my steps back up again. My average will be over 10,000. See you then. Hey Hey folks, it's day 7 and as usual my plans have not come to fruition. I was intending to walk from Cookridge all the way into Leeds city centre to work today. I was just busy this morning, I've had lots to do, then it was raining, now it's looking dry again. So I've booked on the train, so I'm going to walk to Horsforth station, I'm going to get the train in, I'm going to get the train back, but I'm going to be walking to Horsforth station, walking from Leeds station to work and then reversing that back again. It will be over 10,000 steps. What my average will be after that, I'm not 100% sure, but I will get a big walk in at some point this week, I promise. Anyway, I've got half an hour before I need to set off for the train, so I'm going to get some breakfast. And here is breakfast. It is my version of beans on toast, which has got 2 veggie sausages in it. I was going to go for Wetherspoons beans on toast this morning for breakfast if I'd walked in, but instead I'm having my version. So it's a big slice of my homemade bread. That's my healthy extra. I've got 2 veggie sausages, which are 1.5 syns each. Sin-free beans. The healthy extra is sin-free, so it's a 3 syn breakfast. Right, I need to wolf this down and then set off walking. And would you believe it, it's flipping raining. And now it's dry again. It's going to be one of them days, I think. Yeah, I'll drive home. Well, that wasn't bad. I'm on 5,289 steps so far. Easy beat me 10 today.
Second floor. Doors opening.
Well, I was thinking of walking home, but I don't think I will be now. I think it will be the train. Well, a wet walk to the station. Well, that were a nice little walk actually. I've enjoyed it in the end, despite the weather. Well, I'm home and I'm on 12,000 steps. Happy enough with that. Cheers, time for a cuppa. I best have a look what's for dinner. And here is day 7 dinner. Let's have a look. It's gammon, which has been cooked in the oven with no extra fat. It's been cooked, so there's no fat on it. I have got 1.5 baked potatoes, again baked without any oil or fat. sweet potato left over from yesterday, a baked onion, which is incredibly sweet inside, but baked again with no oil or fat. And this is some of yesterday's ratatouille, just to moisten it up a bit so it's not too dry. There's loads of flavour in this, and it'll be really filling. So this is a good way to end today. I'll catch you tomorrow, day 8. Morning folks, it's day 8 and here's brunch. Not had breakfast and I'm not going to have lunch. I'm just doing a really decent sized meal now. So it's 11:10 in the morning. So this is a good brunch. Here it is, and it's sin free. Look at this plate. Right, this is an omelette which I've made in my oven. So this is half of it. My wife's got the other half of it. It's got eggs, milk, bacon, capsicum pepper, spinach, onion and shallot. Oh, and mushrooms in it. It is sin free. The fat has been cut off the bacon. There's no oil or fat to make this, as it was made in the oven. The potatoes were parboiled and then I've finished them in the air fryer, again with no fat or oil, so sin-free, and the baked beans are sin-free. It is a sin-free winner. So I'm right happy with this. It's going to keep me filled up all day long and I'll be having my dinner probably 6 or 7 this evening. I've got to get out for a little walk in between. I'm only going to do the walk around the estate, so I'm not going to film it because you've seen it. I'm not going to just film the same streets. So I'll come back to you at dinner time. See you then. Hey folks, I'm back. It's day 8 dinner, and here it is. It's a good one. It is a spicy pasta dish which I've made with a tin of chopped tomatoes, chopped chicken breast, carrot, peas, capsicum pepper, mushroom, onion, shallot and tagliatelle pasta. It's got some chilli powder in, it's got paprika in, and it's got mixed herbs in, and it's going to be proper tasty. I'll catch you tomorrow for day 9. Nearly there. Morning folks, it's day 9 and it's breakfast time, and I'm going for that humble classic, the British classic of beans on toast, no sins, ka-ching. It's a pretty miserable weather day today, as you can see. It keeps raining and thunderstorms are forecast for later. But I need to get out and get my steps in. I've got a Teams meeting coming up in 10 minutes. And after that, I've got a few other things I've got to do, sat at my computer, but I'm going to get out and get some steps in before lunch. Fingers crossed, hopefully. Right, see you then. Well, I didn't get out for my steps because it's been throwing it down, but I've looked at my steps so far this week, and it turns out that for today, day 9 and day 10, I only need to do 12,000 steps altogether to still hit the 100,000. So pressure's off me, because tomorrow I am going to get some steps in. I am doing a bit of a walk around. I'll tell you about that later. Anyway, it's lunchtime now, so here is day 9 lunch, and I've basically rehashed last night's pasta dish. I've added some sliced potato and some gammon, and that's it. It's sin-free, and I'm sure it's going to be damn tasty. I'll come back to you later. Well, I managed to get out for a walk in the end. Wasn't really feeling it, but the weather's changed, so a little walk around Horsforth and Cookridge. I'll not get all my steps in, but I will get most of them. Well, I'm back from my walk and I've actually quite enjoyed that. It was a little bit busy on the road, but once I got into Cookridge, it wasn't too bad. But I've not managed my 10,000 for today. I've just hit over 7, and that's fine. That means I've only got to do 5 tomorrow, and I'm going to do well more than that tomorrow because I'm going to have a big day. I'm going to Chester. So my other YouTube channel is actually my main YouTube channel, and that's called Moss Travel Media. That's the one that's the biggest of the 2 channels. And I do a lot of ASMR filming around towns and cities. Just walk around with the camera quietly, filming what I see and stitch it together in order. And I started making a film about Chester about 6 years ago. And then COVID came along, lockdown restrictions came in, and I never got to finish it. So tomorrow I'm going to Chester to finish the film off. So there will be a few shots around Chester tomorrow. I won't bore you with it, but if you want to see the final Chester film, then go to Moss Travel Media. It'll be up in about December, something like that. Anyway, I best get dinner on. Hey folks, I'll talk you through day 9's dinner. I'm not dishing it up yet, but here it is. So I've made a chicken and vegetable biryani. It's got the dry curry spices and herbs in there to make the flavour, and it's also got leek, onion, shallot, red capsicum pepper, chicken breast, mushroom, carrot, and of course rice. It's all sin free, so I'm very happy with that. I'm going to dish it up and serve it in a small bowl later because it's getting quite late and I had a big lunch, so I don't need a big dinner. But I'm taking this to Chester tomorrow in my food flask, so I'll show you that tomorrow anyway. But that's why I've made such a big portion. It's for 2 of us tonight and for me to take tomorrow to Chester with me. Right, I'll catch you in a bit. Well, there's tonight's dinner stroke supper with a poached egg on top, because I can. Sin-free goodness. See you tomorrow. Morning folks, it's day 10, the last day of the challenge. Tomorrow is the big day of truth. Has it made any difference or not? We'll find out then. But right now it's time for breakfast, and let me show you my day 10 breakfast, which is an extra special one because it's my wedding anniversary today. Our wedding anniversary today, I should say. Let me show you this breakfast. And here it is. I have made a proper full English type breakfast, but it's not just the normal ingredients that you might expect. So starting on the right, I've got half a slice of homemade toast with tin tomatoes on top. I've got half a capsicum pepper. On top of that is a small piece of chicken breast, which is wrapped in bacon. The fat has been trimmed from the bacon. Next to that, I've got a vegetarian sausage where I've got to take 1.5 syns for that, wrapped in a slice of bacon, again fat removed. I've got 1 tomato halved. I've got some courgette which has been oven baked along with the rest of everything that's on here apart from the egg and the toast and the tin tomatoes. I've got oven baked mushrooms and a poached egg, and that is going to be fine and dandy, very tasty and filling, and keep me going on my way to Chester. I'll come back to you in a bit when I show you my food flask. Right, this is my food flask just here, and this will keep my food hot today. This is just a jam funnel which makes it tidier getting food in there. So I've warmed up some of the biryani from last night in this plastic tub in the microwave, and I'm just going to spoon that into the flask, and this will give me a nice hot lunch while I'm out and about walking around Chester in the torrential rain this afternoon. So just put my flask together. There. All good. That'll go in my rucksack. Happy days. Right, I'll see you on the walk down to the station.
Which is our final stop. If you booked a...
Well, I'm in Chester and it's time for some lunch. But it's still hot and it tastes delicious. actually been 6 hours since breakfast. So yeah, we're definitely needing this. So, all good.
Central Hamilton Square, Chelsea.
Hey folks, I'm back from Chester for the Last Supper, and here it is, cooked by my wonderful wife on our anniversary. So I've got a nice piece of salmon, we've got whole wheat noodles and various vegetables, and this has been stir fried without oil, and this has got a little sauce on it which is 47 calories. I'm going to give the sauce 3 syns because I've got no idea what to award it, so I think I'm overly being cautious there, or being over cautious there. But yeah, there you go. Looks nice, doesn't it? I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it, so I'll see you tomorrow, day 11, for the final weigh-in. Let's see what impact this 10-day challenge has had. See you then. So it's the end of the challenge, and I want to do a little quick recap with you. So let's go back over the number of syns I've had each day. So that is a pretty decent average. Now let's have a look at how many steps I did each day. And you can see from that I've exceeded my average of 10,000 a day. Okay, now I've not massively exceeded it, but I've definitely exceeded it. On 2 days I didn't hit 10,000, but on every other day I went over 10,000. It wasn't really such a bugbear doing it, to be quite honest. I have enjoyed the walks. Anyway, now we need to go upstairs and see what I weigh. I'm not going to show you what the numbers say, but I will tell you honestly if there is a loss, a gain, or no change at all. Right, moment of truth. I'm shocked. I'm totally shocked. I have lost exactly 9 pounds in weight. That is 4 kilograms. Imagine 4 bags of sugar. That's what I've lost, okay? Wow. I need to let this digest. I need to have a think about it. I'm going to come back to you with a reflection. The challenge is over, but I want to reflect on the successes of it I'm just making my breakfast and I'm sticking to the challenge because why do I need to cook with oil? I don't need to cook with oil. This will cook absolutely just fine. I've just put a bit of water in the bottom of the pan. The rest of that water has actually come out of the meat and the veg. I'm going to let this cook until the water has evaporated and then I'll just switch it off. So let's think about the last 10 days. Well, first of all, let's go back to why I did the challenge in the first place. So I've been on holiday, I'd gained weight, I wanted to lose that weight that I'd gained on holiday because I'm off on another holiday later today. In fact, I'm getting on a cruise which is all inclusive and they are not going to be good for the waistline. With that said, on cruises I always do loads of walking because I get off in every port and I explore like mad. So I usually do feel like I need a holiday when I get back from a cruise. But I will be eating and I will be drinking and I will gain weight. So I've lost weight, I will gain some back, hopefully not all of it back, but when I come back from that cruise I'm going to do this again because that is then taking me back to where I should be and actually a bit less than where I should be. And in actual fact I'd like to be a bit less than that anyway. So I think eating in this way is really, really good. The Slimming World plan does work. The key to it is you've got to stick to it. And the second that you don't do it anymore, then that begins the slippery slope of weight gain again. Getting out for exercise is a massive help, and doing that walking, it increases the metabolism and it's a feel-good thing. And sometimes, you know, you do look at it and go, oh, I can't be bothered. But I'll tell you what, I've not come back from any other walks and thought I hated that. I've come back from them all feeling a little bit more energised. And it's weird, but through the 10 days that I've done it, I have felt that the walking has got slightly easier. So that's obviously a sign of like fitness increasing and weight decreasing. But yeah, this has been a really effective 10-day holiday detox. It's worked massively. I've detoxed from what I gained and I've given myself a cleanse before going away again. So I'm really pleased with what's happened here. And it's been a really positive experience overall. I have eaten like a king. You've seen the size of my meals. I haven't made myself hungry at all. And yet I have lost weight. It is possible, but you've got to be disciplined and you've got to stick to it. You can't start adding bits of oil in this. You can't start adding bits of sauce on that because it doesn't work. You've got to eat clean and that is the key. So that's what I've learned from doing this. I hope you've enjoyed the film. I hope maybe there's some food for thought, excuse the pun, in that. I'm happy to answer any questions in the comments, but if you're unsure, you know, have a Google search for yourself around Slimming World and how it works. The plan does work, but it requires discipline. Right, I'll see you on the next film, whatever that may be, and it probably won't be as healthy as this one. See you then.